Hitting it hard this morning. We hit it hard all day. I love these days, Edwin. It's just bam, bam, bam.
Like a hammer, Michael, like a hammer, baby. We've been going since way early this morning. Hey, I'm fired up, man. Let's go for a few more hours. What do you say?
That's going to happen. I'm definitely doing that. With Guy and ER, after this, we're going to get on with the shuffle development team overseas. And we're building some really cool tech. We got some really good stuff going for you guys. And yeah, it's better to be the hammer than the nail, isn't it?
Absolutely. Always better to be the hammer than the nail. Hey, what have we got for Shuffle Nation tonight as people start getting on from around the world?
You know what's really cool about what's starting to turn for me? It's like the work we put in today, we get paid for next week. I heard that from an old sales guy told me a long time ago. The work we do this week, you see results from. The farmer does all the work now and cultivates and he cultivates the farm now and he harvests the crop later. But when you're in the middle of digging the hole, putting the seed in, sweating like crazy, and putting it back on, it just doesn't seem worth it. And it's hard to have that right kind of attitude, but it is the definition. And I was so fortunate that I get to do what I get to do. I mean, I came home the other evening and I told my daughter, I said, man, and my wife, I was like, dude, you know what? I got to really impact and make a big difference today in every single entity that I have my hands in. And we were able to make a difference in a lot of people's life because you don't build a business, you build people, and the people build a business. But the reason I was able to do it then, and this has been last week, was because I had been working my butt off in the field. I had been planting, watering, cultivating, picking weeds on my hands and knees, and just the stuff I didn't want to do. And that's why when people say, oh, do what you want to do your whole entire life and never work a day in your life if you love it, that's bullcrap. There's things about what you might be doing that you love that you don't like, but we got to get them done. We got to get through that so we can get to the good stuff. So what if I hadn't have done that planning and that preparing and that preparation the last 4 weeks, 8 weeks, some things came to fruition, which was awesome, that I've been working on for over a year. And we're remodeling our house. Man, I got a bathroom that's just now starting to turn the corner. And man, I've been jackhammering slab and trying to find water leaks. So but every day we were working so hard, but I wasn't getting the results in. But what I had done is I planned to worked the plan, reset, restructured, relaunched, reevaluated, always evaluating and always working the plan, because that plan is, if you don't take the time to, in the T of the trust process, think, plan, and prepare. Now, when there's nobody there, and as good as much as I've been doing it, I probably could have done a lot faster, but there's nobody that does it better than you. I really want to talk about that tonight. I really want you to take the time to pour into them about that, because sometimes we kind of, oh yeah, this looks good. First glance, no in-depth look. They take a casual glance and they take off, and it just doesn't work as right. So it really makes us take a step back. But if you do what you're so good at, I mean, nobody does it better, brother. I mean, I'm telling you, than the first T of the process.
Well, you're very kind, Michael. Thank you. I do absolutely, and have always been a student and a discipline of the preparation part. And the truth of the matter is, we just don't practice enough. And so, Shuffle Nation, tonight, make sure you hear what Michael opened with and what our focus is. Just lean into this for just a minute, as Michael so always says, make these next few minutes about you. And people are really open to learning new things, Michael. Like, you hear people all the time say, if I can learn new things, I can do certain things better. That's not altogether true. If you really look closely, there's a big difference between learning, because that's a very passive action, and practicing. Let me point out the difference. There's a big difference between practicing and learning. When we practice something, we're involved in the deliberate repetition of a process with the intention of making or reaching a specific goal. The key words there, Michael, are deliberate and intention. And because they define the difference between actively practicing something and passively learning something. So tonight, I really want you guys to take away, what are you doing inside your businesses that you want to grow, and how much time are you spending practicing? Let me give you a brief, quick example of that. Michael, we still good? You can hear me okay? Can you hear me okay, Michael?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I got
you're okay, cool.
Am I freezing up? I got you.
I wanted to make sure. Yes. So
It's
we talk
me,
about
not you.
asking high impact questions in the trust process, asking questions as opposed to giving statements. And as we coach people, I'll give them examples of a high impact question. And they'll go, wow, that's really good. In fact, someone told me this morning, Michael, you're so good at coming up with these things. And he was implying that I just, right off the top of my head, just come up with it. That's not necessarily true. I spent a lot of time thinking about it and practicing it. And I said, well, how often do you, I said, you can do the same thing. How often do you practice? And he said, well, I do it a lot in my head. I said, no, how often do you have conversations in your head with other people? And he was like, well, no, I talk out loud. And I said, well, then you need to start practicing out loud. You got to hear yourself ask the question. So practice is so critically important to achievement, Michael. It's what you do when nobody's watching. We say that so often. That will spotlight you when you have to be in front of someone and you've got to execute. Practice is always the key.
And that's so great because what happens when you practice, you're prepared. When you're prepared, your confidence is up, the pressure's down. I mean, practice and opportunity brings success because you're successful when you already are prepared and you're ready. And when you get your shot, you don't have to worry about if you're ready. And when you're not thinking about the process or thinking about what you're doing or thinking about the story you're telling or the question you're asking, Edwin, because you're so good at that, it does come to you naturally, but it's because you were born that way. No such thing as a born salesman or a born doctor or born lawyer. It takes intentional practice and being relentless about one thing, being consistent. That's what we have to do. And that's what you're so good at, E.
Well, I appreciate that, Michael. Hey, I want to give you 3 more things to think about when it comes to practice. And we're comparing it again to learning. Now, I know am I saying that learning is not a good thing? Of course not. But I'm saying we need to spend more time practicing the things that we want to get better at. And sometimes passive learning can be a crutch that supports inaction. All right. Learning, sometimes overlearning something, overthinking something can actually take us further away from our goals. Like, you've got to get out there and do the repetition. You can do all the research you want on the best exercise equipment, but until you go out there and start pushing those weights and actually putting in the work, you can have all the knowledge, but the application comes and the results come as a result of practice. So number 1, it can sometimes be a crutch. Number 2, practice. Now, this is a big one. Practice is learning, but learning is not practice. Practice is learning because you're building the muscle memory. You hear Michael talk about that all the time. You're building the repetition, the muscle memory that allows you to reach back for it when it's time to execute in the moment, the critical moments. So practice is learning, but learning is not practice. They are 2 different things, and you've got to make sure if you're going to err on the side of one or the other, err on the side of practicing more. Number 3, and this is huge, practice focuses your energy on the process. Practice focuses your energy on the process. We talk so often about it's energy management, not time management. Champions focus on energy management. So progress, ladies and gentlemen, is a natural result of staying focused on the process of doing something. Progress is a natural result of staying focused on the process of doing anything. Now, for those of you who are going to see this at a later date, I want you to go back and listen to Michael's opening comments. He validated in that, in his own word, through his life experience, exactly what I just articulated in these 3 points. And we had no idea what the other person was going to say. That in and of itself validates and brings us full circle to me, Michael. You gave a real life example, and I backed it up with theory, not theory, but evidence that supports exactly what you just said. Give you a chance to comment.
That is exactly true, Edwin. That validated for me too what you said. I didn't know you were going to say that either. So yeah, and like I said, guys, when we do these things, I jumped ahead. I was so excited about getting started tonight. I had something to say, talk about this piece of it, which it's really awesome when I have a real life experience, but of what I teach. So we're drinking our own Kool-Aid. But when you jump on these, whether you're seeing this now, YouTube, StreamYard, social platform, whatever you're watching through it, when you drop, this is a time for you to stop down, whether it's in the morning, evening, afternoon, right now. It's time for you to stop down and make it about you. Take a deep breath and just listen for a minute. Don't even write it down at first. Just listen, because you can always back this thing up. So just listen and make it about you. Feel other things and the pressures that you have. How can you implement something you're going through to what is being taught right now? And I want to tell you, I travel with Edwin all over North America. I've seen him speak hundreds of hours now, maybe thousands, as much as we've been getting after it.
Yeah.
And I learn something every single time that he says something. I validate, I educate, and I also get new ideas. So some of this stuff, and there's so many people that have been on with us for so long, they're all a trust process, TI, think, plan, and prepare. But when they take more of an in-depth look, and they don't stop down and make a casual glance, because I'm also doing these two things, watching this and thinking about this. When people put everything down, take a second, lean back, and just listen and let this pour into you. Because when you do that, you're going to be a better dad, better mom, better boss, better worker, whatever you are, a son, daughter, you'll be better for it if you go out and take after you've been poured into and share it and pass it on.
So well said, Michael. And why are we putting this emphasis on it tonight, besides the fact that we so diligently believe in this? I'm sorry? Yeah. Why are we putting so much?
Are you losing me?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I just wanted to I wanted to bring it home simply by saying that the reason we're putting this emphasis tonight on comparing between learning and practicing, both are good things. But oftentimes, and this one's going to sting just a little bit, I'm guilty of it, we all are, okay? We often hide behind information and we use learning as an excuse to delay the more difficult and more important choice of actually doing something. So the call tonight is a call to action. It's a call to action for Michael and I. It's a call to action for you guys. And hey, Michael, you know what? We haven't said anything yet tonight about what's upcoming October 1st and 2nd in Dallas, Texas. Should we spotlight that just a little bit?
I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you guys see me, but I'm going to tell you something right now. The Wi-Fi is weak in Texas, but the event October 1st and 2nd is going to be long and strong, baby. We're hitting it hard. We've got the event locked down. We got the hotels locked down. We got the hotels around it locked down. The event will sell out. The VIPs will sell out. We're going to have 2 days and a third day going to the great state fair, Texas. I know you're coming down. You plan on staying and bringing family, bringing your wife with you. So there's so many great things that we're going to do in this event. It's a business summit, business conference. We are going to pour into you. We're going to cover you personally, you professionally. So you want to bring your team, get people involved. We've already had guys sign up themselves and their office staff, because they know what's coming. We're back out in the public again. Edwin, you and I are traveling. We're going to be you're coming to Dallas. Before then, we're going to Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going to be out there in North Carolina. So we got a lot of cool things coming up. But this October 1st and 2nd event is going to set you up for the rest of the year so you can finish strong and start fast in 2022. We're going to be able to reevaluate our business. You're going to be able to set your goals professionally, personally, and have a pattern, a path, and a process to start you where you are and take you where you want to go. It's going to give you a clear vision. the stumbling blocks that you can't even see right now because they're so big, or you can't pass them because they're so big, you're going to clarify them, define them, and those stumbling blocks are going to turn into those stepping stones that you need at this conference, October 1st and 2nd. I'm going to tell you right now, the Think, Plan, Prepare that we've been doing for you guys is going to be off the charts. I am pushing this hard, and guess what? Am I trying to sell you on coming to this bad boy? Yes, I am, because you need it. I'm going to explain to you why you got to have those goals. You got to have a path. You got to have a mission. You got to be able to reset, restructure, relaunch on everything that you do. You got to have a chance to refocus those things and reset them. And then when it doesn't work, you got to redo it. We got to take a different path. We got to pull out the white gloves. We got to think, plan, prepare, relate, uncover the need, offer the goal, and take massive action, guys. So, Edwin, am I excited about that October 2nd? I don't know if you heard any of that because my Wi-Fi is weak, but I definitely am coming strong.
Absolutely, Michael, man. Always a pleasure. Hey, LFI Nation, go out and make it a great evening. We can't wait to be with you guys personally. Hey, hug your loved ones tonight. Tell the people you love that you appreciate them, you're grateful for them, and make the most out of every single day. You know what? We started this morning saying this, and I'll finish with this one, Michael. Every day is not your best is not going to be the same every single day. Circumstances are going to dictate that. You're not going to feel exactly the best every day, but the one thing you control, we are all in control of, is putting forth your best effort. When I reflect back at the end of my day, I don't compare day to day to day. Well, this day was better than that day. I focus and ask myself one thing: did you lay it all on the line today? Did you do your best today? And on the days that I can't honestly say, those are the days I'm disappointed. But don't measure yourself by the standard of every single day having to be the same. Just go out every day and put forth your best effort. Give it everything you got that day. When I'm coming to a city to speak, or I'm speaking with a client in advance, I never say, hey, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. I say, I'm going to give you my best shot that day. Say that to yourself tonight. Look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, you are worthy and deserving of giving yourself your best shot. That's a great way to end your day, and it's a great way to begin your day. So, hey, Michael, God bless everybody. Thanks so much for the opportunity to come together and spend some time with you, man. We started our morning, and we got one more. We got another one to do here in just a few more minutes. It's only 9:20 Eastern time. We got plenty of time. Let's keep going. Baby. All right.
Hey, brother. I'm going to see you in 10 minutes, bro. Take care. See you later, guys. Make it count.